Chances are, if you landed on this video, you are looking to charge higher prices for your services, or you're looking to overcome the problem of what do you do when a client asks you for your price. This video is going to answer this question. Would you believe me if I told you that your price has little to do with the number than how you present it? And what I'm going to show you is a framework that I've used in my photography business, which is going to work in any type of photography business, any type of videography business, and truth be told, any type of service if you are doing premium priced services. So I'm going to break a few concepts down for you. And by the end of this video, you will have a tangible, actionable plan to help you get to the next step. So there are four main problems that production business owners face. One is nobody knows who they are and you don't generate enough leads. You over rely on referrals and you rely on that for your high seasons. And then when it doesn't work, you have very, very depressing low seasons. I've been there before. Most leads are unqualified and you have no other ways to monetize them. You have no referral partners. You have no digital products. You just have one level of service to offer your clients. And if they don't buy that, then you don't make any money. And worst of all, you don't have an organized business system. And this is a problem that has plagued many photography businesses because they kind of freestyle, they kind of wing it. And when a client comes, they quickly put together a proposal, they quickly put together a sales pitch or anything. And then they ultimately stress themselves out because what happens if you rush and put something together and your client doesn't buy? And the worst of all of these is yourself. If you do not know what you don't know and you don't put yourself in a position to learn more, you're always going to be stressed. So my name is Jordy Lakeem Foster, and I have been in the brand and photography space for a decade. And since then, I've transitioned to helping clients create lead generation funnels to help them attract more leads, convert them, and ultimately scale their business. So some of the clients that I have done brand and photography work for, and a mix of these for various clients, are H&M, NYU, the Brooklyn Borough President's Office, Vision Services for the Blind, and your local small business owners as well. So for those of you who guys that are wondering, yes, I still, at the time of this video, I still run my photography business day to day. So these are insights that I'm sharing, that I'm learning. If you make under $10,000 per month, I do have a program called the Production Business Accelerator that's designed to give you a step-by-step plan to get you on that path. And then for those of you who are more advanced, you're making 10 to 20,000 or more per month, and you need to organize your business in a system, and you're looking to do that, I have a program called the $1 Million Photographer Growth Program, where we pretty much help you to build this whole marketing machine from scratch. So that's just a little bit about me and what I do. So let's just get into this, right? So this is the $1 Million Photographer funnel. And this funnel didn't exist at the time of my operations. I was running a paid ad here and there. I was doing content. I definitely was doing a lot of outreach, and I wasn't really aware, but I really had great partners, like models that I work with, clients that always referred me to other people, organizations that I was a part of, but I didn't really have the words to be able to quantify all of this. But what happens now is, if you look at the bottom of the funnel here, you'll notice that this is where your sales call is going to live. But leading up to that, there are a number of things that happen from the time somebody comes through one of the four ways to generate traffic. So paid ads, content, outreach, and partnerships, all the way down to downloading a lead magnet. And then they go to a thank you page. And then they're going into an email workflow. And from that email workflow, they're coming to a webinar or one of your live trainings, or they're in your newsletter, or you have appointment setters reaching out to them. There's so many things that are happening before they get to the call. And I'm going to demystify that process and give you some actionable steps today. So the average funnel, before I go, this is very important for me to say, most people run paid ads or they send their content to a website. And this is very damaging for your business because people come to conclusions like ads don't work or social media doesn't work. And I say to them, well, ads don't work for you. Social media doesn't work for you, because there's tons of people who we can point to on a daily basis that have indeed made these tools work. It just doesn't work for you. And if you look at these two funnels, I mean, you could kind of guess which one is going to work, right? Somebody's going to come in as a complete stranger. They're going to download your lead magnet, go to your thank you page. They're going to go to one of your weekly live trainings, and they're going to get to know who you are over the span of time. That's going to lead to more trust. And the more things that they do, the more content they consume, the more lead magnets they download, the more times they revisit your website, revisit your material. That's going to allow you to have a more effective sales call. All right. So now that we've covered the parts, I've laid this out in a few parts for you so that you could understand it. And let's start here. So the very first thing is, why do clients even book appointments in the first place, right? One of my clients actually told me this, and it really changed my life, is that the minute that a client decides to book you, it is because they like your work. There's just no other way to look at it, right? They're not booking a consultation because they just want to talk. Now, there are some people that do that, but for the grand way of thinking about this, most people are booking you because they like what you have to offer, okay? So if you believe that, and I highly encourage you to borrow my belief in that, you can go into the call with confidence, knowing that they already see some type of value in what you do. They may not be fully aware of your process or how you do it or who you've done it for, but if they like your work and then they book an appointment, you're already starting off on a good front. So you have to believe that. That's the first thing. Second is, you now want to have what I call here a pre-call workflow. So these are the things that you're doing before the call. So one very simple step, but very important, is that you want to confirm the date and the time with the client. You should do this automatically if you can via an email or text message workflow. Then you can send relevant resources about the shoot they want to do before they call. So let's say they want to do an e-commerce photo shoot. They should get e-commerce information. If they want to do a branding shoot, they should get branding related information. And then 3, you want to tell clients how to prepare for your call. Very simple, but a lot of people don't do this, and they really miss an opportunity to really build more rapport with the client before they got onto the call. Here's why. Clients do not know your process more than you. Remember, you're doing this every single day. You're talking to clients, you're making content, you're finding new ways to serve your clients. So your clients, they're having this conversation once that you've had 100 times, 1,000 times. So if you help guide them through all of these steps, now they're in their mind now saying, okay, this guy's an expert. So now we have 4 points, right? So you go into the call with confidence, you confirm the date and time, you send them relevant resources, and then you tell them how to prepare for the call. Here are a few things that you definitely are going to want to do. So you want to send 3 reminders via SMS and email. This has really worked well. So 24 hours before, 4 hours, and an hour before. And then if you are working with businesses, which I typically lean to teaching photographers and videographers who operate in the business space, get their revenue and their website if possible, find out where and how they book the call, and ask them if they're okay with the price range. So I actually wrote an email about this today, but let's say you're charging $500 to $2,500, right? You want to put on your form, I'm not sure if I have the question in this video, but you can trust me, right? Put this question on your booking form. Our services range between $500 to $2,500. Are you okay with this? Make it a mandatory question and then ask them yes or no. What that's going to do is the people that say no, I've literally called them to ask them what issue they have with the price. And then I've gone on to even cancel some of my consultations because I realized that they just weren't really a good fit at this point in time. So you definitely are going to want to do that. Then, where possible, this could simply be a video that you record with your phone, a video that you record with a webcam like I'm using right now. Tell them who you are, what problems you solve, why you need to solve them now, right now, how you solve them, and some examples. This video shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. Here's why. This video will let them see who you are, who you've worked with, how you work. They hear the sound of your voice, so you're engaging them on different sensory frequencies. The more times people see you, the more familiarity they build with you. That is the law of familiarity. You may not find that exact thing when you Google it, but it's called the mere exposure effect. The more people see you just by being exposed to you, the more they build trust with you, especially if you're given value. Next, so if you've done all of that correctly, you will now have clarity on the vision. You will know what the client wants, when they want to do it, and how important it is to them. Those are three things that you can typically predetermine before the call. So what does the client want? You're going to have a question on the form, like what services you want. When do they want to do it? You want to have a time range. So within the month, next month, 3+ months from now. The people that want to do it within the month and next month are typically going to be your highest priority. And then how important it is to them. You can ask them what outcome do they want out of the call. This is also why you want to get their website too. If you get the website, you'll be able to browse it and you get to see what they've done so far. There's one law of physics that I love here that really, really makes this work. A body at rest will stay at rest until acted on by an external force. And the same thing for a body at motion. They will continue having momentum or they will stop until acted on by an external force. Here's why that's important. People that aren't trying to build their business themselves, it's going to be very hard for you to convince them. Never be in the game of convincing. Whereas on the other end, if they are already doing work on their business and now you're just going to come in to pour some gasoline on it so you can make it go faster, it's typically going to be easier to work with those people. Principle here, never convince the unconvinced of why your thing works. That's a losing battle. So now that we have clarity on the vision, let's talk about pricing, which is what we all came here for. You're going to have two packages. You're going to have a basic package and then you're going to have a premium package. Now, I'm not going to give you numbers because this is going to vary on each person's situation. But at minimum, I would say for a photo shoot or a very small type of video shoot, if you're just starting out, $500 at minimum. That is going to be enough to cover some of your basic expenses. And if you're just starting out, you're probably doing a lot of the work by yourself. So, and this $500 doesn't include like booking the space or like, this is just your service fee. Okay. It's not considering like editing and things like that, but you should start at $500 because sometimes clients want to edit stuff themselves and it's perfectly fine. But $500. Your premium package is going to be about 2 to 3 times the price of the basic package, but it's also going to offer 10 times the amount of value. So 2 to 3 times as much, and then the value is 10 times as much, meaning that if you help your clients make $10,000, it is very fair and reasonable to charge 1,000 to 2,000, which is 10 to 20%. So here's what the structure now that's going to really help you to position these prices is going to be how you structure your sales call. And now you're literally not going to ask the questions like this, but this is going to help you to think through it. Your call is going to be broken down into 3 parts. You're going to gather information from them. So you're going to build up on what you got on the form. You're going to give them your sales presentation. You're going to answer any questions, which we call objections in the sales world. And that's typically how your sales call is going to be structured. So the why are we here question, you may not need to ask this directly because they're going to tell you that from the form. So you may literally actually jump into this part. So, hey, name, I saw that you were interested in doing a branding photo shoot for your new company. Can you tell me more about that? When you ask, can you tell me more about that? What you actually do, you do two things. You acknowledge that you read what they submitted. You position yourself as an expert by going right into the question. And then now they're going to tell you why they want to solve X. After they tell you that, you're going to go into, so why now? Or what problems is this causing? Or why haven't you done anything before? This is going to give you a basis on which to do your presentation. So now when you get to the presentation aspect, here's the interesting part. Everything that your clients have said to you in the beginning, you can now weave that into your presentation. So your presentation, I believe it should be interactive. It shouldn't be you talking for 20 minutes, and that's why I have a 10-minute mark here. It really should be to the point. And to ensure that it sticks within that 10-minute mark, you want to actually practice it a few times, right? So after you make your presentation, set a timer, practice your presentation, cut the fat, keep the important details, and then you'll be able to refine it as you go through your different sales calls. So you want to tell people your process. What are you trying to do? How people typically try to do it. Why your approach is successful, the risks associated with doing it themselves, how long it costs, how much will it cost. You want to really address that up front. So reaffirm the price range you gave on the call. Tell them how long it will take. Like if you do a photo shoot today on the 23rd, you tell people, hey, it's going to be 5 to 10 business days. Or if you're a premium agency, it's 3 business days, etc. What are the midterm and final checks for success? Like what does success look like in a photo shoot? What does success look like in a video shoot? What does success look like in a video campaign? And then you end with just more social proof. After you do the presentation, you may say, hey, so based on everything that I've shared now, what did you like most about the program? Or what did you like most about the photo shoot plan? Or what did you like most about our process? They'll tell you that. And then you want to revisit any answers that they have from the first part. So yeah, I understand that you want to do a branding photo shoot. Do you feel like my presentation helped you more with that? Did it help you to understand the process? Did it help you to understand how you're going to get more results? And then you want to tell them how to get started. So is it a 50% deposit? Is it a 20% deposit? Do they pay before you complete? Do they pay after the fact? You want to just make that very clear to them. Now, when you do all of that now, there's a few things that will happen that I want to make you aware of. One, you should have a spreadsheet, or you should have a CRM so that you can follow up with them. These are follow-ups that I would do manually, as these follow-ups will help you to, let's say somebody decides to buy after the third or fourth follow-up. You don't want to have 100 people in an automated sequence that's not really ready to buy yet, right? You really don't want to do that. So these are manual, and you can schedule them out on a day-by-day basis. In each follow-up, I would include one or more of the following. So documents, videos, case studies, examples, templates, and free actionable tips. This is going to be important because it helps to balance out your call by how much you're selling and then how much value you're giving. So you can always kind of walk a line between the both of those. And now, if you do that now, there's just two things to keep in mind, right? Your production is going to be broken down into 3 stages. So your pre-production, your production, and your post-production. So it's very important that you sell and outline each of these stages of your process in a very distinct manner. Most clients, most photographers, most videographers, most production people put a lot of emphasis on production and post-production, but they don't really put a monetary value on pre-production. So after this video, what I want you guys to do is just value your pre-production time a lot more. The creative direction, sourcing your equipment, planning the amount of shooting, the travel costs, the videographer, etc. Because people see the arrival and the checking in with the crew and shooting and breaking down, but they're also not seeing what's happening to plan, and they're also not seeing what you and or your team are doing in the back end to ensure that they get what they want. So in summary, the question now is that I posed at the beginning, guys, is would you believe me if I told you that your price has little to do with the number than how you present it? I say it absolutely does. Because if you really believe that clients are booking you because they value your work, you enroll them in a pre-call workflow, you have clarity on the vision based on the questions that you asked, you've laid out your intro and your premium level package, you've identified what questions to ask as per our screen share presentation and our framework over there, and then you understand that pre-production is one thing, production is one thing, and post-production is another thing. If you treat those things separately and then you apply these principles, I can rest assured that you will be able to charge more money, have more confidence, and build the business of your dreams. That's all I got for you guys today. Rewatch this video, implement what I share, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Jordy Lakeem Foster, the $1 Million Photographer, and I'll see you in the next video.